I've lived the life of a bluesman's child. Too many hours in the back of a van, 12 years old already in his band. If I ever want to see him, the only way is to get on the stage and play, play, play. It can be a little while, the life of a bluesman's child.
Your dad was a professional musician and everything, and you said, obviously, you've written Bluesman's Child for him, about him, about your relationship growing up. And you said he was a distant dad. Was that because he was away touring all the time and things?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I came at the end of my mum and dad's very long marriage. I'm the youngest of 5 kids, so by the time I came along, it was pretty much over. So he left the family home and he was away touring, doing whatever he did, and I just literally didn't spend any time with him, have very few memories of him. And then when I was 12, my auntie took me to his gig at the Band on the Wall, and I just thought, I can do that. So I just jumped up on stage with him, and with my sister.
In the genes.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, I'd already been singing for a long time, doing sort of bits and pieces with choirs and stuff like that. And my sister was up there singing backing vocals, so I thought, well, I'll get up as well.
How difficult can this be?
Yeah, I didn't know any of the words. Who cares? And it was brilliant, and I loved it. And so from then on, whenever he was in Manchester or in the UK, I would be in the band singing backing vocals, and eventually progressed to doing the odd sort of lead vocal. And then, it got to the stage where we were pretty much sharing the vocals.
Yeah.
So it was.
I heard you did a tour of Australia.
We did a couple of tours of Australia.
Is it true?
Yeah.
You were sort of out in the outback at
Definitely.
mining camps, I
Yes.
think I'd read somewhere.
Yeah, we
That's,
played
that's-
literally everywhere.
Yeah, that's kind of tough audience, I would imagine.
Very tough, especially when you're in a real, actual mining town where there are pretty much no women, and you're almost the only woman in town. And I was still a youngish girl, It was interesting, but that's the stuff that blues is made of, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Plenty of lyrical opportunities.
Yes.
How about your lyrics on the new album? Mm-hmm. What do you look to write about specifically, or things? For the many, seems I've only heard the lyrics when you tonight. It seems like a political song or social song in that respect.
It is very much. I think in the past I've sort of written slightly political stuff, but it's so veiled that it's not very apparent. But this one, it just came out, and I think we're at such a strange time at the moment. There's so much going on in the world, not just in this country. But I think we just need a new direction. And that's what it's about. I've always been a staunch Labour supporter. Very, very, very strange times we're living in, but we'll get through it. Everyone, all generations go through difficult times.
Musically, the album seems to me like a really solid continuation of Throw Away Your Blues.
Yeah.
In terms of musically, what you're covering, I think.
I think what we wanted to do was to sort of add an extra layer to what we did with Throw Away Your Blues, because I think that was quite stripped back in terms of it just being the 4 of us, really, essentially, and it was quite we consciously made it a very real sound. We wanted it to be very clean and a real high-end listening experience. And then we decided, well, that was quite pure and bare in a lot of ways. So this new one, although it's continuing in the same vein musically, there's horns on there, there's keys, there's harmonica.
Some of the songs.
Yeah, it's been a dream of mine to have like that big, sort of bigger band sound. It's so difficult to do it, and I'd love to take it on the road, but it's so expensive. But we were so lucky to get the Haggis Horns, who were renowned. Mark Ronson called them the best horn section in the world. And they are. You should have seen them in the studio. They were absolutely amazing, incredible. So, yeah.
We can afford you for an hour. Go.
Yeah, quick.
Yeah. And how about your flute playing? You're the only flautist in blues, surely.
Oh, possibly.
It's not an instrument that, to me, I would readily associate with the blues. Folk, prog rock, or
True.
sort of. Even I was thinking when you were playing tonight, I was thinking it sounds like some of those underground scores from 70s Harlem.
Yeah, man.
Kind of, when you hear a flute, and I was thinking, I know where I'm thinking, I've got some of those. I was thinking, that sounds like something off a Shaft score or something kind of like
Jill Scott Heron or something like that. Yeah, man. No, well, basically, when I was a kid, I was watching Young Musician of the Year, and there was a flautist on, and I just thought, I want to play that instrument. So I think I was about 4 when I first saw the flute. Mithered until I finally got one when I was 9, and I played it classically. I played all through school. Loved it. My teacher wanted me to be a concert flautist. He thought I could do it, but I was already singing and writing songs, so I went in that direction, put my flute down completely, and then it wasn't until Danny, who's now my husband, and my dad said to me, play the flute on stage. Just do it, why not? I had my own band, and they were just like, add an extra little string to your bow.
But it also adds such a different sort of texture. It's kind of really interesting. And I've heard you play it before, because you played it a little bit at Bristol, but that was a duo gig. So
Yes.
it had it again, there was more room, if you like, for
Exactly,
it there.
yeah.
But with the band line up tonight, I was thinking, would you play just little fills or something? I didn't even know if you'd play it tonight. But it really works really nicely.
Oh,
There's
thank
such
you.
a lovely sort of texture in there.
Thank you very much.
Adds a whole layer to it. It's really good. So what are your favourite songs on the new album?
Oh gosh,
That's a bit of a hard
difficult.
question, isn't it? You've got a new album out, which I like them all.
I do. It's so funny because we don't once you've done an album, you don't really listen to it, but because it's literally just arrived yesterday, the physical copy. We have been listening to it, and every time a song finishes, we're like, oh, I like that. But I guess
There must be certain songs that, though, you kind of think when you're writing them and then record them, you kind of think, this is a little bit special in one direction or something.
Yeah,
like that.
so I really love Don't Let Me Fall, because I think that's quite different from anything we've done before. I love Bluesman's Child because it's so much about me and my dad,
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And it just sort of
And
came
it's a
out
great
so
opener.
quickly.
It's a great opener.
It's difficult to choose the favourites, and Pain and Glory.
Compromise is good.
Compromise. Thank you.
I picked that up when I was listening to it again. I've only had one
Yeah,
listen.
that is really definitely
really that-
one
I
of
straight
my
away thought that
favourites.
sounds-
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. I love it, and it's one of those things because there are quite a few songs on there that are pushing the boundaries of blues. Compromise being one of them, but I'm a firm believer that you've got to write what comes out, and that's what we've tried to do. Just try to be honest and produce what's going on for us at this point in our lives.
I've got to ask you, because you played it tonight, but you've recorded Hallelujah for the album. And again, I've read in the past that you said sometimes it's too emotional song to sing. So did you have to? Was it a very conscious decision to say, we're going to record this? It suits you perfectly, and it's a blinding vocal you did tonight, and
Thank
everything
you.
is fantastic. But it is such an iconic song. There must be the idea, like, if I don't do this right,
So the story behind it is that I was going over to Switzerland. What was it? Must have been the winter of 2016, and the guy who booked us, we'd become really good friends with him. He was a promoter who books an amazing festival in Switzerland called Blues to Bop, and he'd got us a string of really nice gigs in an amazing arts centre, one in a maximum security prison, which was actually unbelievable. It was fabulous.
It's okay, you've been to mining camps in Australia.
Exactly. I'm
No
at
problem.
home there. I'm at home.
Bring it on.
And then, but the first gig of the string of gigs was in an incredibly beautiful church. And he said to me, wouldn't it be brilliant if you sang Hallelujah? And I said, I'm not tackling that song. It's just, But he asked me so nicely that I had to do it. But it was really difficult at first to get through it without crying for a start. And then afterwards, I'd just be shaking for 15 minutes or whatever. So I could never do it in the middle of the set. It would always have to be at the end. And the audience response was amazing. So we kept it in the set, and then really sadly, less than 10 months later, he passed away. So it's sort of his song now. I sang it as he was being interred, as he was lowered into the ground at his funeral. His family asked me to do it, and that was really tough. But it's become just a really special song to us. And it is difficult because so many people have done it, and it's such a special song to so many people. But we've had such a great response that we thought we should record it, so we did.
Well, I heard there was a secret chord that David played, and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift.